Is this supposed to sound some kind of scary or or some kind of alarming? Or are we actually beginning to legalize what the white witches and wizards say? Because it seems like they actually have a say. And they have a say because for this to be published, it means that at some point in time, what they've predicted actually turned out to be true. So I don't understand what we're supposed to make out of this. I pass it to you, Reverend, to give us the directive from here.
Well, unfortunately, a boy who is the head, I don't know if he resides in Lagos or whatever, but it's good to also let him know that this country is God's own country, number one. Number two, I'm not, it's not moving me looking at the statement they are making. They made the same statement when the president came on board that they went to Abuja to do whatsoever. It's a wake-up call, as long as I'm concerned, for the citizenry, and especially kingdom citizens, men of God and servants of God and the church, who I represent, and the God who to know that we need to wake up. Number two is, I wish it would be a thing that a boy and his team will. I'm not a witch, so I don't know how they manage to get all their informations. Yes, he said in their coven. But it's important to let him know that God owns this country. And I pray he should live to see the election that he's talking about. Yeah, I pray he should live to see it. Yeah, if he will do. And number two, I can't speak for the people who are contesting because I don't know them. If they are their members, though they didn't come out plainly to say they are speaking for their members. So they are making mere predictions. And it's also giving us an idea of how the nation is going down than what it used to be. For me, it's a wake-up call. For me, I don't feel, it's not funny. It's not funny.
When you say it's a wake-up call, Reverend, what actually do you...
What I mean is a wake-up call is that it tells me there is a spiritual dimension of this nation that we, the church, need to wake up to provide sanity, to provide that rather than cluster every Sunday and do some of the jamborees we do, there's a rising challenge that I believe God is allowing them to make these statements so that we will wake up we will wake up and know that we owe this country more than we think.
Yeah. All right, let me let me come in here. The Bible says, "Suffer not the witch to live." That's a clear, for Christians, it's clear. The Bible says, "Suffer not the witch to live." That's a clear injunction in the Old Testament. But we live in a time and age where we are being told we are under the Constitution of Nigeria, and what that entails in a nutshell is basically that we have to obey the laws of the land. And the laws of the land said there is religious tolerance. You are to respect where your rights begin is where the rights of another ends.
Sorry, ma, I want to say which is not a religion. Witches and wizards is not a religion. Except you are showing me where it is.
It's a faith. It's a way of life. Like Christianity is a way of life. I want to believe. Okay, here's where I'm going to. I don't argue with you. I know you're the priest.
I'm not arguing with you. If we don't state facts, if we don't state things clear.
Okay, let me just digest my question. Okay. So now, in a society, we have agreed that Nigeria is a secular state, but with freedom of religion or freedom of faith, if you may. Now that we have this conjecture, the Bible already says, "Suffer not a witch to live." And now, by nature of the average, whether it's Christian or Muslims, they don't agree to witches or whatever they represent. But both the Christian Bible and the Quran, or even the Torah, if you're using that as a matter of fact. So now that we are here in this circle where you have to respect their faith or their oppressions of faith or religion, or whatever they want to call it, And that they also have to respect that of the Christians or Muslims, as the case may be. Are we at a point where we need to now begin to question how we actually got here, where some of these elements can now audaciously speak before everyone and that's supposed to be okay? He was saying he doesn't know how that got published. I don't know how it got published, but it's in the news.
No, it got published because the publishers want news to publish. And peradventure, the publisher could be part of them. Every person.
Well.
Okay, so for me, Ebo is not here. If he were to be here, we would have known whether he has a faith. But I don't know where he is. Just as I said, I pray he sees that day of the election that he is trying to predict. I pray he sees the 11th of November.
Is that not being rather kind of too extreme?
What, depending on what you mean by extremity. Who is a witch? A witch is a man who lives by killing people. What's witchcraft? Witchcraft is imposing evil on people. That's simply what it is.
So let's get it from the angle of wizardry. There are people who are called wizards, like Genuis. Genesis, people who are exceptional. They say, okay, this person is a wizard in technology, for instance, a wizard in communication, a wizard which is basically this person is an exceptional person in a given field. From that angle, there's white witches. It's also part of it. I don't know.
That's a use, excuse me, that's a use of language to qualify an act. This is not the use of language. This is, you said it's a faith.
Yeah, that's what it comes across, because he said they meet in their coven.
That's what I'm telling you. So what do you do in the coven?
You determine people's future and destinies.
Right.
And they're determining that of
That's right. Who gave them? For me, I don't want to discuss. There are things I don't discuss.
All right.
I discuss them. If a boy was here, we would have known what gave him the impetus. Constitution is to the extent we can argue it and bring it to bear in this country. What you say is in the pages of constitution goes to court. That's why the judiciary. And you argue it in favor or against until you come to a logical conclusion by a court of competent judiciary.
Okay, so let's just leave white.
So let's leave that. We're talking about faith. We're not talking about constitution.
Yeah, let's just
That's a very
leave them.
sensitive matter.